Wow, man, it's been another great edition of the coffee break, sports edition on TAN TV. Been a great episode, y'all. So before I go, because coming up next, don't change your channels. Coming up next, our number one show is the One Eye Scout Show on TAN TV with Kevin Howe, aka the One Eye Scout, along with Mr. Philip Townsend. So, like I said, before I go though, I'd just like to give a shout out to the GASO, the Great American Shootout. That was past weekend here in San Antonio. Hey man, they put on a fantastic tournament. Uh, and I'm just here to say that's what I'm here to say to give them their props on running together a fantastic tournament. I mean, from the fans, the parents, from the athletes that participate. The San Antonio Cats showed up, and like I said, hey, and you better stay tuned because the One Eye Scout may give you some updates on some individual players or so. But I just want to give and Michael Timmons, the director of media. I just want to give you a shout out in your organization and thank you for allowing TAN TV in. And right now, y'all, hey, get your popcorn ready and stay tuned because up next is the One Eye Scout Show. We're hosted by Kevin Howe, aka the One Eye Scout, and his sidekick, Philip Townsend. So see y'all next week. Be safe and do your thing. I hope everybody had a happy Mother's Day. Ooh-wee. Well, we sure did around here in TAN TV. See y'all. This is the One Eye Scout Show.
Said I was just like how you guys seen it, you know what I mean? Like especially like through my development stage, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.
Welcome to the One Eye Scout Show, powered by TAN TV. I'm Kevin Howe, the One Eye Scout, and tonight we're getting you ready for one of the biggest weekends in basketball. We're previewing the P32 New Balance League at the Rise Star Center in Dallas, plus the Revo Recruit JUCO Showcase. We got eyes on Josiah McDonald. You might remember him from Southwest High School. He's come back to play, and then we're going to break down the live period, what it really means. Because if you're hooping this weekend, you better bring in your A game. And later in the show, we're shouting out some of the best recent interviews on the watch list. Stay with us, and I want to introduce my sidekick, Mr. Philip Townsend. There you go, Big Phil.
Hey, well, you'd think that producer could get me in here, but anyway, Kevin, I'm looking forward to you explaining, uh, that whole live show thing, and it's going to be a great show. I'm telling you, people. Kevin Howe, the One-Eyed Scout, is bringing you some great information and some really, really good basketball from this weekend. So anyway, without further ado, Kevin, let's hear it.
Hey, you know what, man? I want to hit up the Gasso from last weekend first because, man, there were some really phenomenal performances. You know, we watched Jermichael Finley and we watched him at Veterans Memorial, but we hey Vance, try to kill that echo, but we saw him at Veterans Memorial. Man, he guarded 1 through 4. He's got sweet feet. He's got lateral movement, and man, he did not disappoint. Our guy from East Central plays with Jamal Shed Elite normally. Well, he played with the Church Cowboys this weekend, and he was phenomenal. He, he's got that long length, was creating turnovers and dunks on the other end. But there's one guy from behind the scenes um, that from Jordan Bustamante. He's from Edinburgh, Texas. Uh,
Wow.
he plays for Edinburgh at Bella High School down there. Man, I've been hearing about him, but whenever we saw this weekend, man, there wasn't a shot that he forced. There wasn't a shot that he didn't take. There wasn't a time where he looked nervous. Man, he was just producing. So I want to give him a shout out. And man, let me tell you what, SA Future, the class of 28 group. So that's freshmen just turning into sophomores. Man, their group is so special. You had Jamari Bowen, who was first team all district. Then you have Bryson Bell, the point guard from Clemens, and then Eden Onway, Edison's brother. And man, and then you toss into the mix Jace Tolliver, and we're just gonna go with four guys. But I'm telling you, that list could be six or seven. So that SA Future 2018 is really strong, which kind of brings me to a point, man. We have the 26 class is going to have 7 Division I players in it. You're going to have the 27 class with a little bit more, and that 28 class is looking special. And then in 29, we have the number 1 ranked player in the state that'll be attending Harlan High School.
Wow.
So, yeah, so we're bringing, I mean, San Antonio's packing heat, man.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about two guys from John Jay. Cameron Garza his paperwork to play basketball at Community College in Arizona. And Mr. Linton signed his paper to play at Jackson College in Michigan. And then Trey Martin from Southwest just signed with Concordia. So he'll be with Stanley Bonowitz, a big name out there in East Central.
Kevin, if I could interrupt you just for a minute, just to get back on that Gasso, I know that it had to be a special weekend because Vance was really shouting out about how well the San Antonio players represented themselves. And so I missed it. You know, I was stuck in having to go to San Diego for a few days and relax. But thought I'd make it that Sunday, but I was worn out. But he said it was some really good play because you know Houston brought something to the table, but San Antonio they showed up.
They did show up. You know, and we found some neat ways to use Vance and Vance's talents, man. So I think we're going to be much more efficient in future endeavors.
Oh, you had him hold the door open for people?
But oh, let's. I'm not sure how to fix that.
The echo?
Yeah,
I don't hear it. That's
come back in, Kevin.
Okay. Phil, I'm gonna need to go out and come back in.
Okay. Well, Vance, if you're able to communicate with me, you got a chance to go there. Did you get some good photos so that you can pinpoint them for TAAN TV when some of these guys become the stars that you all think they're going to be? You've already heard the One-Eyed Scout say that not only is there going to be this Division 1 player, but more the next time around and more the next time around because that's how San Antonio is repping. So I'm looking forward to when the season starts back and we really get a chance to see these guys on the team because I want to see if they're going to be able to, maybe transfer what they've learned, what they picked up, how they played, even if they don't necessarily get to play the same position when they get back to their high school teams. So that's going to be interesting to see.
And
Yeah.
that's a very valid point. And I can at least say real quick because our main man is back, Mr. Kevin Howe. Say something to us, Kevin, real quick, and then I'm gonna finish up.
Oh yes, sir. I'm back.
Okay. That it's even on me, man. I'm getting that little
I
echo.
think it's on your end. Yeah.
But I wasn't talking when or Phil when Phil was talking, it was good. Okay, anyway, but the San Antonio kids showed out, Phil, and like you say, man, I'm looking forward to seeing them as they go into this year's the new season at high school, and then see what they put down. So I'm gonna step back out and see if I can get this echo in. And people, we apologize here tonight on TAN TV to our audience for that little echo, but we're gonna try to get it out.
Vance, turn your gain down and see if that works.
Yeah, I don't know,
All
Phil.
right, we're gonna.
Is that better? No, I still hear it.
Phil, do you have the mic on in your car?
Um,
Plus the.
let me just see something, Kevin. Just a second. All right. Let me try something real quick.
And so we're gonna go ahead and push forward. Let's break down that phrase of we keep hearing about the live period, and what does a live period actually mean? There's certain days that the NCAA has set aside for coaches, Division 1, to be able to evaluate prospects in person. That means Division 1 in games, uh, to be in the gym, watching live games, practices, shoot arounds, all of it. So this isn't just your uncle and his camera phone. This is the real gatekeepers of who's getting offers and who's getting opportunities to play. So live period is pressure, and pressure reveals who you are. So you should have been in the gym getting ready, and you don't get to explain your game. This is when you just have to show your game. And now we're going to look over to the the New Balance League P32, and we're going to see if we're going to be at the Rise Star Center, and this league is quickly becoming one of the best places to find under the radar difference makers. You know, the level of competition can be crazy. You got behind the scenes repping for San Antonio, bringing that 2-0 toughness. Teams in the circuit are disciplined, fast, and hungry. So this live period is where you find just players, dogs. You're auditioning. You're looking for scholarships. Every turnover, every closeout, all that matters. So, with that being said, we need to show better, proper body language. Because they're looking at everything: body language, effort, communication. Coaches are watching, and so they're watching for habits. And so that's going to be up there in Dallas. And then we're talking about the JUCO showcase with Josiah, and the P32 is going to be on one set of courts, and the JUCO showcase is going to be on the other, all hosted by a Revo recruit, but all under one roof. And so that's a big time chance for college guys to level up. Some unsigned seniors get a chance to play in front of a bucket load of junior colleges. But one guy that I am excited to see, we talked about him earlier, Josiah. He's from right here in San Antonio. Currently, he's playing basketball at Williston State College in North Dakota. But this week, he's back in the home state of Texas. And he's built for this. JUCO's guys, they already know what it's like to push through a season. They've been through the system. They're older, smarter, and motivated to make their next move. So it's going to be a great opportunity for some of these high school guys to see the junior college players to see what they're going to need to be able to match up with, because the JUCO guys they're transferring, and people in their portal are going to be as old or older than those guys that are in that showcase. So it's going to be cool to see. I'm excited about it. You know, I'm excited, but not as excited as I am about those interviews on the watch list. We've been able to bring in some heat, if you will. We've got Antoine Almuter, one of the best defenders in the country. And he's got a serious offensive bag with him. But what jumps off the charts, man, is his athleticism. He flies over, around, dunks on people, closes out, chase down blocks. And I'm looking forward because I've seen him a few times, and I saw him at the Noble, and then we're going to see him on the EYBL circuit. And right here at home, we've had Armani Francis. We interviewed him last night. Great interview. He got to explain what he's looking to improve upon. Remember, he's that 6'7" kid with a good body at Harlan. He tries to block. If you go to the basket, he's going to meet you at the rim. And but he's gotten very solid with his outside shot, and he'll score inside and out. Mason Thomas and Trey Nunn. Those two guys are 3D Empire. Both can score in bunches. Mason being a more dominant rebounder, but a smart, sharp combo guard is what you get with Trey Nunn. And both of those guys play for 3D Empire. Guess what, Phil? Tonight at 8:00, we're going to interview the 7-footer from
What?
3D Empire. Man,
What?
yes, sir. You heard it here.
Yeah. Look at here. The One-Eyed Scout is breaking that for you all. Make sure you watch the interview when he finishes with it. It's going to be great. But Kevin, let me get back to one thing. When you were talking about, I love it when you say, in the gym, the eyes don't blink. And I think what people, need to realize is that you get some people, they say, well, look, it's coaches here, but not really any of the coaches that I would be looking at going somewhere. Again, it's not like it's not a fraternity. It's not like coaches don't talk. And either someone may pass that information along. I guess what? That coach may have been interested in you and ask somebody that he values their opinion, just what did you do? And when it's time for you to take a break, it's not time for you to slough off because you're going to be watched the whole time you're in that gym. So whether it's you didn't get the minutes maybe you thought in a little run and you just kind of slumping when they tell you to take the break, grumbling with some other players or something, eyes are on you. Just be cognizant of the fact that as long as you're in that gym, somebody of relevance is watching you. Like Kevin says, in the gym, the eyes don't blink.
Yes, sir. And bringing, we talked about the San Antonio Future 28s, but the 26s, man, they got some dudes on there. And so next week, next Friday, we're going to have Donovan Chris fresh off a 30 point performance where he got offered a scholarship over to UTEP, University of Texas
Wow.
El Paso.
What?
Yeah, so and he plays with Isaiah Ward, Talon, those three guys from Brennan,
Right.
and they're on that Puma Pro 16 circuit. So they're going to get a chance to put out and put on a show during a live period. So that's going to be great. And folks, if you're behind on the watch list, you're late. So let's make sure you check out you can only watch it on TAN TV, the YouTube channel, or Spotify, and so make sure you get over there. Phil, before we wrap up, players, listen close. If you want to be seen in person again soon after this live period, sign up for the St. Mary's University Elite ID Camp. It's happening June 5th from 6 to 9 p.m. and it won't happen again until July. But go to playfast.com, and you can register there. I know that I'm going to be there for that camp. I'm going to be there for the shooting camps. So it's going to be a great opportunity at
Kevin,
playfastbasketball.com.
excuse me. Could,
Mm-hmm.
could you announce that camp again and where it's going to be?
It's going to be at St. Mary's University right here in San Antonio, July 5th from 6 to 9 p.m. But the only way you get in there is if you go register at playfastbasketball.com. And that's where you'll find most of, if not all of, St. Mary's basketball camps. So
Right.
don't waste time. Don't waste it. Nobody's going to ask you to lead. So go ahead and get over there and get signed up. And let me say this to any player stepping into a gym this weekend. From the bottom of my heart, every layup line, every defensive slide, every timeout, someone is watching. Your energy writes your resume. So make sure you're going to write something that you're proud of. Play like it's your last chance because for somebody out there, it might be. So in closing, that's a wrap on this OneEyed Scout show powered by TAN TV. We'll be at the P32 at the JUCO Showcase, and we'll be dropping more from the watch list soon. Follow us on social media at the OneEyed Scout. Tag us if you're competing and keep playing like those eyes are always on you because they are. And thank you.
Said I was just wish like I would have you guys sooner. You know what I mean? Like especially like through my development stage, and, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe, and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.
This is Coach Abbott, head coach of Southwest Legacy, home of the Titans, and you are watching TAN TV. Action.